of Mother's Day, we have some colorful floral arranging ideas that'll brighten up both the inside and even outside of your home.
Hi, I'm Courtney Elder with Courtney's Flowers, and I'm passionate about creating beautiful floral designs for the home and beyond. I have an artistic background doing art with various mediums, such as oil painting, and now my medium is flowers.
We hope to inspire you to beautify your home with floral arrangements on today's SoFlo Home Project. Welcome to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra. Bringing a little bit of nature into your home is a great way to liven up the decor, and an excellent way to do that is with colorful blooms. Today we have expert advice on what to look for when selecting flowers, creating inspiring arrangements that last year-round, ways to enhance your backyard with beautiful blooms, and so much more. Courtney, welcome to SoFlo Home Project. It is so great to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So as you know, this is our Mother's Day episode, and we want to share some really great ways and a lot of tips on how to create beautiful floral arrangements.
Sure.
What do you typically look for when purchasing? Are there any specific types of flowers that are better than others to use?
It depends on personal preference for sure, things that you like. I also like to look for things that are in season. For me personally, I like to look for really interesting, unique types of things. So something like these little sea berries, or like these gray anemones, things that you don't really see. We have some garden roses. This is called a Westminster Abbey garden rose. So pretty, they smell amazing.
I love the color too.
Yeah.
So much like with home decor, the creations are really limitless. And
exactly. Courtney,
when you are starting, you talked about more of the filler flowers versus more of the focal flowers. Break down for us sort of how you go about creating an arrangement.
For me, when it comes to an actual arrangement, I don't do a whole lot of sketching. I know kind of like generally a vase I might use, or
So find the kind of the vase or the container that you're using first.
Yeah, and you can really use anything, but sometimes I get attached to a vase and I'm like, I want to do something in this. This will look pretty on my counter.
A lot of these look like sort of the building blocks of an arrangement.
Sure, yeah, so building blocks, we call them like mechanics of building arrangements. So this is a low bowl vase, and inside of it there is a little ball of chicken wire. So chicken wire is something we often use to kind of hold the flowers in place.
So that's how they kind of stand up so perfectly.
Exactly. Yep, it looks like this. Comes in a roll, and you just cut it with wire cutters. You sort of ball it up.
And just give a little kind of...
Exactly, and then if you can see, there's a little bit of tape that's sort of holding it in place, so a piece here and a piece here.
Okay, so you want to tape that in place so everything then stays tight. That makes it so much easier.
Yeah,
I've never seen this. I've only seen the foam.
This is one of the most popular mechanics we use to build arrangements. You can also use floral foam.
Courtney, so I am so excited. We've seen a lot of the basics, a lot of beautiful flowers, and all of the different things it takes to put the arrangements together, but we are gonna actually have you share with us how to do that. And stay with us, because we're gonna do tabletop arrangements when we come back. Coming up, ways to fill your home with vibrant colors and fragrant aromas on SoFlo Home Project.
Want to choose the right windows or doors for your home? Let's bring you to our show, and we're going to show you around. Coming up next on SoFlo Home Project.
Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra, and we are continuing to talk about creating beautiful floral arrangements with Courtney Elder of Courtney's Flowers. So Courtney, this is one of your finished pieces, kind of like what you create for events and whatnot, right?
Exactly, yeah. This is an example of a centerpiece that I might create for a wedding or another event.
Really quite beautiful. And as you mentioned earlier, you said your particular style has a bit of whimsy, a bit of a romantic feel, and there's so many great little kind of pieces. Those almost look like feathery type of pieces. So you're going to share with us how to kind of create a smaller version of something as beautiful as this.
Yeah, exactly. So starting with our low bowl vase with the chicken wire inside, I now filled it with some water. So you can see with this one, there's like the Dusty Miller, the different types of Dusty Miller sort of hang, so I gave it a general shape that I wanted to follow. And then I just sort of place the blooms from
fill
there.
in.
Exactly.
So for this project, you are going to want to have some clippers, chicken wire, a vase, some Scotch tape to keep the chicken wire in place, and of course, a variety of beautiful flowers and filler flowers as well.
In this case, I'm going to use the Dusty Miller to kind of create a little bit of shape. Everybody doing floral arrangements needs a clipper, a sharp one.
So that's the most important part.
It is. I definitely like to design in my sort of whimsical, more playful style.
And so you're kind of breaking them down to more manageable pieces. So
Yeah, well, and it really depends on what you're using. And I would say, go easy on yourself because it's, it's always just sort of trial and error with art.
Absolutely.
And very subjective. And, as long as you're happy with what you're creating, that's really all that matters.
now, what are you going to add in next? More of the larger flowers, or what's next?
Yeah, I think I'm going to do some roses.
Pretty.
So we have our pretty garden roses.
Love those. That color is fantastic. Now you're cutting on an angle. I noticed that.
I always cut at an angle. They
Okay.
say that allows the flowers to get more water. And
Okay. The trial and error, I think, is what makes this fun. And
Yeah.
what makes it fun for anyone creating, even for the first time, is sort of testing out and see what works. And as you build on it, you may move a few things around. I love that.
Exactly. So I think I'm going to take one of these beautiful ranunculus.
I love those. Those are so pretty. So Courtney, I know you've got a little bit more work to do here. It's looking great.
Thank you.
And we are going to see the finished piece, but before we do that, let's check in with Mike Martinez from USA Windows and Doors and see what great advice he has for us today.
Hey, Mike Martinez here from USA Windows and Doors. Have you ever wanted to see a product up close? Well, this is an option that we offer many of our customers. Bring you into a showroom, show you the product. This way, you have the option of picking what you want. The colors are here, the glass is here. Everything you might want to know is right here. Come on inside, let me show you something. So here in the showroom, we're going to look at windows. And the beautiful thing about windows is we can see all the variety of windows that we have. We have single hung, we have horizontal rollers, we have casement windows, we have picture windows, we have awning windows. There's all sorts of windows we could bring into play here. So ES Windows has three basic models. They have the Multimax line, they have the Elite line, and the Prestige line. This particular window here is Elite. The nice thing about it, it's the middle of the road. It has needle bearings, it has ball bearings on the sliders, give a lot of smoothness. This window's pretty heavy, and yet I can move it and close it. It's actually helping me with the counterbalance that's inside of it. This particular one is a horizontal roller. It moves beautifully on needle bearings. It's very smooth. It's very easy to use. It's the perfect window when you're trying to find something that'll enhance a house and make it more beautiful. This particular window has 7/16 glass with a polyvinyl butyryl. It has superior aluminum styling with regards to how it's painted. It's got a Kynar finish. This paint will last for 25 years. It's guaranteed. This is a casement window. ES Windows offers a variety of different types of casement windows, whether they're awning windows or whether they open like doors. Look at the size of this. It just looks like a wonderful picture window. There's no lines across horizontally or vertically like you would see in a single hung or in a horizontal roller. So we've talked about windows, we've brought you to the showroom, we've shown you the different options. USA Windows and Doors, we offer solutions that make sense. Look us up, usawindowsanddoors.com, or better yet, give us a call right here, the number's on the screen. Back to you, Alena.
Thanks, Mike. So Courtney, this is looking beautiful.
Thank you so much.
So do you complete one side, then turn, work on the rest? Is there any method to that?
For me personally, I like to work on one side. I kind of will turn it myself or walk around and look at it. It's really just personal preference.
Is the key to this a little bit of like subtle repetition and then filling in with the rest? Like certain flowers you might do 2 or 3.
I just eyeball it. Like
Okay.
for me, I look at it and I'm like, I want to put this here, or I think it needs another this. But honestly, like it really depends on your design. If you wanted to do all one flower, or have everything, this half be this flower and
Almost
this
do
half
like
be
an
that flower,
ombre of
you could do
different
anything.
florals.
Yeah, that's why
Yes.
it's fun because it's limitless what you can really create.
Well, it looks beautiful. So this looks like your last piece.
Just
now?
about, yeah, just about. Yeah, so I do want to add some of these fun little whimsical touches.
Those
I
are
kind of
great.
love adding to my arrangements.
Yeah, it just sort of
little
gives a
movement.
little, yeah, I love that whimsy element. And I just also love the color too. It brings in a different color and a little
Yeah.
texture as well.
Yeah, it's very cool. So I feel like maybe I need one more.
Wow, Courtney, this looks amazing.
Thank you.
Both of these arrangements are great. And I also love that, the smaller size here, great for coffee table, great for kitchen counter, even as a smaller centerpiece, pretty much anywhere in the home. This looks great.
Exactly. It gives you a lot of versatility to have a smaller size like this.
Coming up next, we look at the lasting beauty of dried floral arrangements on SoFlo Home Project.
SoFlo Home Project is sponsored in part by Eldorado Furniture. Looking to refresh your home? Visit us online at eldoradofurniture.com or a showroom near you.
Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra, and we are continuing to talk about all things floral arranging with Courtney Elder of Courtney's Flowers. So Courtney, before the break, we saw some beautiful live arrangements you did.
Yes.
Different sizes, shared some tips on that. But now I think we're going to switch gears and talk about the dried flowers, something that might last a little bit longer, and I feel like it's a huge trend as well.
Yeah, exactly. So with dried floral arrangements, you can arrange them in a vase, just like we did with the live arrangements, which is very beautiful. So you would take something like this grass and you'd, prop it up, you'd add your dried blooms. In this case, we're gonna walk through how to do a dried floral piece that you might wanna hang on a wall or hang on the side of a mirror or something like that.
Oh, great. And I feel like right behind you is one incredible piece. So that
Yes.
is another example.
Yeah, that's an example of what we're gonna walk through.
So for this project, you're once again going to need the chicken wire, the clippers, as well as the zip ties, a variety of dried flowers and dried palms, and a lot of imagination.
You want to start with a base of a palm. I like to start with palms. So these palms I cut down from my neighborhood.
Locally sourced.
Locally sourced. We're very lucky in South Florida to have access to these. I think the key is just when you're outside in Florida and you're walking around, just keep your eyes open for the cool
treasures.
I call them treasures. The cool and beautiful things that are all
really
around
is.
us. I started on a base of chicken wire.
So the chicken wire really is
So-
that key thing you really need to have.
Exactly. So then you want to attach the palms to the chicken wire.
Okay, so here's where those zip ties come in. And again, I'm noticing you have the clear. Is it best to really work with that?
It depends on what you're doing. Again, if you're doing something dark or maybe you're spray painting
Got it.
these palms black, you can really do anything with this. I especially love to spray paint things gold. It's like very satisfying.
Nice. Seeing how you anchor these, breaking it down like this makes it so much more easy to understand how to create.
So once you have these attached,
Okay. So you could really see how it's starting to take shape. So it looks like, is this the next step? The grass?
well, you can add a couple more palms. Like maybe you want to still add some structure to it. So
Yeah, I love the way that gives just kind of a varied look as well. Different sizes.
yeah, so these I just gave a little haircut too, but they looked like this. You can cut them into any shape you want. You
Oh,
can cut
that's
them
really
with
cool.
like a rounded top. This is pampas grass, so it's just a dried.
Now it does shed a little bit.
It does
Any
shed a
tips for
lot,
that?
actually. Yes, you can hairspray it, but I would do it sort of from a distance because
Okay.
you want them to have this like movement. Yeah,
yeah.
they're very pretty, and if you spray them too close, you
Be
might
too
have them
stiff.
be rigid. Yeah, so
Well,
you
this is
want
a
to just sort of
weightless
like
hairspray, so this one's probably gonna be good.
yeah, this way exactly perfect.
But they are beautiful.
They are so pretty. I love them.
And
I
I've
think
seen
they're
these
so
also in
nice.
different colors as well. When you're creating, it's such a creative medium. You're just experimenting, you're adding, but you might tweak it along the way and
Yep.
just let it evolve.
Yeah, exactly. And oftentimes my best creations are ones I didn't really plan.
And honestly, in interior design, it's the same thing. Sometimes
Yeah.
something's not available, you have to make a change. Sometimes it's better than the original plan.
Exactly.
So we want everyone at home to create. When you are doing your own creations, just let the creativity flow. Create and let it evolve.
And be flexible. Sometimes once you start building it up, you don't even have to zip tie through the chicken wire. You can like
Because it's from
attach
objects,
and you just sort of
so
like
it'll
build
stay
it up.
held.
Like I said, Frankenstein. But it works.
Okay, so this is looking great. Really kind of building its shape. So you'll just keep layering and layering with the different objects
Yep.
and more of the other dried florals.
Yeah, exactly. So when I'm creating things like, I mean, there's a lot of feathers in this piece. There's more palms. That piece has dyed ferns, the cool red ones.
Very nice.
So you just layer and you just keep layering on, and then you can add dried flowers to it as well. And if you just like the look of the feathers and the palms, you can leave it as is. It's really, like I said, up to, it's art. It's what you prefer.
So a lot of locally sourced from your own home can be done to create these. So Courtney,
Absolutely.
I love the dried floral creations, but we've got one more amazing creation that you have done, and that is going to be the arch. We're going to take you outdoors with us when we come back. Next, we head outdoors to create one incredible floral installation on SoFlo Home Project. Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra, and we are on the last stop of our floral arranging kind of tour through all the different types of floral arrangements with Courtney Elder of Courtney's Flowers. Courtney, so you have shown us some ways to get inspired to make dried floral arrangements for not only tabletop on the wall, floral arrangements with fresh flowers, but now we've got something really amazing behind us, the sort of floral arch that you've created.
This is what we would call more of an installation piece, a floral installation. And you would use something like this for a wedding backdrop, or prom pictures, or some sort of, celebration that you're having where you want to do a big statement piece with flowers.
Yes. And it certainly is a statement piece. I mean, we talked about this sort of whimsy aspect. When you're planning this is where that sketchbook comes to hand.
Yes, because there's a lot of mechanics involved, making sure everything, it can hold the weight of what you're putting on it, and just the overall design. It does take a lot more detail, hence
and a
the
lot of planning, I'm
yes.
sure.
Not that they usually turn out the way I sketch them, but
They also evolve like all of the
they evolve
arrangements.
like everything else, exactly. But it's a good place to start.
So let's talk about how you started this, and then I know you're going to add a few finishing pieces to kind of fill it in.
Sure. So how I started was actually not on the arch. I took the floral foam cages and I built some of these bigger pieces, the ones on the floor and then the ones that are on the arch. I built them actually, flat, and then mounted them to the arch using
Zip ties. We love zip ties. Keeps everything in place.
Yeah, so once I had them up, I added some more detail, so some of the hanging amaranthus and
So
the
pretty.
orchids, and the ivy on the top of the arch.
So you could really get as colorful as you want with these, or as neutral as you want.
Yeah, it all depends on what you're designing for, what the event is, if they have a color theme, what you're doing for this. I just, like I said, I got inspired by some of the colors I saw at the flower shop.
Well, it is certainly beautiful. Now, so we're going to fill in.
Yeah, so I would finish the sides with more of the ivy.
So let's get started. Let's get the rest of this finished up. I mean,
Yeah,
it looks beautiful right now, but it's these finishing touches that really must make it perfect.
It's kind of like the more you look at it, the more you're like wanting to add to it, and it's all, the whole fun of it, I think.
Now, covering the frame, do you usually cover the entire frame? You leave some wood exposed? It depends on the
It depends on what the structure is. Like sometimes I'll do installations on trees that are on the property of a
Very
wedding
cool.
venue or something like that. It all depends. In this case, I thought, the ivy looked pretty covering all of the wood, just to
Yes.
give more of like a secret garden type of vibe.
Courtney, so this looks amazing. It is such a beautiful arrangement. The addition of the ivy on the sides just, I feel like, rounds it out. Such beautiful work.
Thank you so much.
So are these one of your favorite things to create?
Yeah, absolutely. These are by far my favorite. I love the whole process of sketching them and then really bringing them to life. And I just feel like they're so magical when they're this size and at this scale.
They truly are. They're works of art with beautiful flowers. And of course, like we said, the perfect backdrop to any special occasion.
For sure.
So Courtney, I want to thank you so much for sharing your talents with us and sharing all of these great tips throughout the day.
Thank you. It was so much fun for me too. I appreciate it.
And now let's take a look at what design inspiration we have planned for you next week on SoFlo Home Project. We go to Orlando for Coverings, the largest international tile and stone industry trade show in North America. As a Coverings industry ambassador, I bring you in to check out the latest tile trends for your home. Prepare to be floored. And before we go, let's check in with Hunter Frankie, the host of SoFlo Health, and see what he's up to tomorrow. Hunter, what's going on?
Hey there, Alena. Tomorrow on SoFlo Health, we're talking about staying cool as the summer months approach. Yes, we know it's spring, but it's hot out here. Plus, we also check out a beautiful place to enjoy yourself with some fresh, summery, spring-like cuisine over by the beach. And we talk some more about blue zones and how to extend your lifespan as well as your health span. Find out more tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. on the one and only Local 10 for SoFlo Health.
Thanks, Hunter. We'll definitely be watching. And I just want to wish all the moms out there a happy Mother's Day. Enjoy your special day tomorrow, especially my mom. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. And we hope to see you all again next week for another all-new episode of SoFlo Home Project right here on Local 10. And remember, there's no place like SoFlo Home. If you missed any part of this episode, or if you're looking for more design inspiration, make sure to check out all episodes online at SoFloShows.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media on Facebook and Instagram.